how much of a hangover is there from just this long cricket season that they've had, Australia, and none of their batters just seem to be in form. They just seem out of sorts in some ways.
I
They
can't.
just don't like being in India unless they're being paid crores and crores of rupees for it. When it's for the country, they can't be bothered. It's as simple as that.
But I don't care for that excuse because Australia is there. Australia is performing.
Welcome to Over and Out. Today is February the 11th. With me are Izzy Khwaja in the UAE and Mustafa Siddiqui, DawnNews English. We're here to cover the T20 World Cup in India and Sri Lanka. So three different games. Let's go in reverse order of interest level. So we had the Aussies actually really crush Ireland today. And what I found interesting was that Mitch Marsh didn't play, Travis Head didn't do much, but they have this bevy of all-rounders who all sort of chipped in, batting with the bat and the ball, came up with a score of 182, and then really restricted Ireland to around 100 runs. Another professional display by the Australians, and from the looks of it, they'll probably come out of this group. Your
Yeah,
thoughts?
you're right, Doc. Terrific performance considering they were 88 for 4, and we thought, hang on, the Irish might truly roll them over here. But then Marcus Stoinis coming through in the clutch. He's been such a great player for them in the white ball formats. Kind of underrated. Matt Renshaw held the innings together. Or jab a 182 when they put that much, you knew that Ireland were pretty much out of the game. Paul Sterling is having a horrible T20 World Cup. He's such a key player for them. He retired hurt as well. And after that, it was an absolute procession as Australia, like you mentioned, showing that killer instinct, showing that professionalism. 4 wickets for Adam Zampa, who's always outstanding in these ICC, multinational events. And Nathan Ellis as well, very impressive. Picking up 4 wickets as well. So in the end, the Aussies doing just getting their heart rate above resting and still with a comfortable victory and a great confidence booster to win so comprehensively, even without Mitchell Marsh.
Mustafa, your thoughts on Australia today?
So the one thing is I'm very for Australia's hopes, Nathan Ellis has to be informed because Nathan Ellis has always been a player I have liked for like the last 5 or 6 years since started. I started seeing him in the Big Bash a couple of years ago because he has pace. He has that he has that very awkward bounce, right? Where like that gets onto you. He has sideways movement to a certain extent, and he can bowl with the old ball. So if he's getting into form, that greatly improves their chances. Another thing that will greatly improve their chances is that yes, Mitch Marsh is out, but they're replacing him with Steve Smith, and like I actually was kind of flabbergasted to a certain extent why Steve Smith wasn't in the squad, especially after the big bash he just had, and I saw this before the tournament and I was gobsmacked that why was he in the tournament because in the last 3 years of the Big Bash he has a strike rate of 150 with an average of 60. Like, and this is not like India or New Zealand or England where the boundaries are small and they're extremely flat wickets. I'm not going to deny that Australia has somewhat flat wickets, but the boundaries are big, man. Like like having a 150 strike rate there is a big thing. So I think Steve Smith coming in as a replacement is actually going to be a big boost to them as well, especially because I'm not that like I like Travis Head. I love Travis Head. He's amazing. Josh Inglis is I'm up and down with him. So I would rather play like fit in Steve Smith maybe instead of Renshaw there, and move Inglis down to three and move Smith to open.
Steve Smith, of course, the newest member of the Sialkot Stallions, and
Z-
the
With the
most
Z.
expensive, yeah, the most expensive PSL auction ever. So let's go to our second game of the day. West Indies trouncing England. They put up a very good score. Sherfane Rutherford, of course, went berserk, 76 of 40 odd delivers. England started really well. Phil Salt went crazy, 30 or 14, and they actually scored 67 in the power play, well ahead of the West Indies worm at the time. But the bowlers sort of pulled it back, and then England sort of petered out at the end. A very tame sort of end to their innings and then comprehensively beaten in the end. Is this the beginning of the end of this sort of Bazball, Rob Key, Baz McCullum experiment?
It should have been
I
over a
think
year. So
they might drag it till 2027 and get it properly done with in a World Cup cycle. But like you mentioned, it was terrific batting from the Windies. They came out with great intent. A lot of credit goes to Shimron Hetmeyer, the way he took on the England bowling when they had picked up a couple of early wickets, and then Sherfane Rutherford was outstanding. Jason Holder, very underrated all-rounder, especially the way he's adapted his game to the white ball formats. He was phenomenal as well. And then in the bowling department, unlikely heroes with the likes of Shamar Joseph. He was absolutely brilliant, 1 for 30 in four, especially at the Wankhede. Such a flat track, short boundaries, and a hint of dew about him. Roston Chase and Gudakesh Motie all picked up significant wickets. And England, they've always been, very shoddy when it comes to these ICC events in South Asia. They just never really show up for that. They can't really be bothered. And they also have that Ashes hangover as well. Half of the lads don't look like they really want to be there, except for Sam Curran or Josh Butler. And in the end, we were expecting this hiding yesterday when we had our in-depth preview of this match, because Windies always raise their game when it comes to taking on England, and they certainly did that today. An excellent show, and looks like they have 1 foot in the Super 8's. Brilliant performance.
So I have hated baseball since the inception of it, essentially, because they're trying to act so smart that they're trying to revolutionize the game when they really just want to play like the Aussies of the 2000s and the Windies of the 1980s, right? That's basically what they want to play at, with some field position changes. That's essential. They want to play aggressive cricket. That's the one side. What I No matter what they do with their white ball game, until they start playing on tracks that have a bit of something in it for the bowlers in their home conditions, they will never perform in ICC tournaments like they should. Because if there's a hint of spin, it's like turning 45 degrees to them. Like, more, I think Bethel is one of the best young batsmen in the world today. He completely got dumbfounded by Moti, who bowled great, right? But like, it really shouldn't keep on happening now. This is such a pattern where we have seen England collapse to spin for so long, and it's obviously because they're unprepared, and it's obviously because they prepare flat pitches for themselves.
But you say that, and yet you look at the lineup, Salt, Butler, Bethel, Brooke, Curran, they've all got a lot of PSL, IPL experience. They are not strangers to playing T20 cricket in South Asia. It just seems, I think AZ has a valid point here. How much of a hangover is there from just this long cricket season that they've had, Australia, and none of their batters just seem to be in form. They just seem out of sorts in some ways.
I got
They just don't like being in India unless they're being paid crores and crores of rupees for it. When it's for the country, they can't be bothered. It's as simple as that.
but I don't care for that excuse, because Australia is there. Australia is performing. Australia, everyone has to play year long, right? I don't care about that excuse. If you're playing for your country, then this is a bit nationalistic. Like, if you're playing for your country, you're playing for your country. It is your job to perform. Like, and if you don't want to, if you can't perform at your job, you should not be playing. And it's just like, I think it might be a bit tough, but like, I think you need to be realistic, and like, there needs to be a bit more cutthroat mentality
There's
in
no
that side.
accountability in English cricket at the
That
moment. मतलब सब
nothing
चल
that
रहा है. Hmm.
if there was accountability in English cricket, Baz McCullum would have been sacked a couple of years ago. Let's be very honest.
Not a couple of years ago, but because they were winning till 2 years ago. But yeah,
Yeah,
But
after the Ashes, he would have
and
been.
at
In
least
fact,
after
he
the
wouldn't have been
Ashes.
promoted with getting the white ball responsibilities as well.
yeah, exactly, man. It's just like,
Let's move on to the last game, and it was a fantastic game between South Africa and Afghanistan. I mean, this match swung back and forth, 187, 187, tied after 20 overs each.
can I
Then, of
say
course, go ahead.
look, can I say something? We shouldn't have gotten to that super over. That game should have been
We'll come
over.
to that.
Like,
We'll come to that. Let me say, and then in the first super over 17-17, and then finally in the third super over, and even then it went to the last ball whereby basically another boundary could have extended it.
I thought he got the gap at point. I thought it was a boundary.
It was a wide ball, and he easily could have put it away. But go ahead, Mustafa, take it away. Set the stage for us.
Oh my God, this was the most baffling thing of all I've ever seen. They needed two of two balls. Yes, there was one wicket remaining, but they needed two of two balls. They hit the ball down the field, I think to cover. They took
Widest
us
long off.
widest long off. Yes, they took a single. They took a single, and they took a completely ill-advised double. Cost them. They got run out. You still had a ball remaining. The game was tied. You had to get one run. Could you not have waited one? Like, you could have ran for all your cases for the next for the next ball. You could have run started off before that.
Bro, he was literally shielding him for the last 2 overs.
I get
अब
that,
उसको single देता वो.
but at the same time, man, it's one ball.
It was 22 of 11 when Azmatullah Umarzai had that brain fade.
I get
That was where they
that.
lost the
The
match.
game
No,
game was in hand. AZ is right. 22 of 11
He had
from modern
literally just hit a
T20s
six and he went
nothing.
for a slog over cow corner once again. And
yeah.
then the pressure told on Rashid. Then, like, he batted out of his mind. Noor Ahmed. Who would have thought he'd smash Kagiso Rabada for a couple of sixes? That was absurd.
It was a very insane game. It's
The
And then
outcome, of
it was
course,
actually
is
a bad, amazing game, the way it ended, to be
yes,
quite
it was a bad, amazing game.
yeah,
The
it
outcome is,
was.
of course, Afghanistan probably on the way out. They've lost to both New Zealand, they've lost to now
Yeah,
South
they're pretty
Africa in
much
this
cooked now. Yeah.
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
in this, and you have to win the next two and then hope
Actually,
a
there
lot of
are
results.
honestly, if we go brass tacks and if we seriously look at them, they're a very mediocre side. It's just that Pakistan do not play to their level against them. We always take it casual, or perhaps we take it too seriously. And they play like, of course, the Pakistan background to it is that they just play out of their skins against it. They're a very mediocre side. They have batting till three. They literally have no middle order. They have no fast bowling apart from Fazlul Haq Farooqi, who is absolutely horrible at the death. He's repeatedly, multiple times, he's lost matches for his country, for his franchise over the last 3 years, bowling at the death. Yet still somehow, just because of Rashid Khan and Noor, occasionally who do put that spin strangle on, that Afghanistan do manage to get some success at ICC level. Ibrahim Zatran and Gurbaz have, to be fair, been very good in 2024 and now in 2026. But they're a subpar side, and we never play to a level. That's why we feel like it's always a tight contest with them. We should be beating the brakes off of them, so to speak, regularly. But Pakistan, Pakistan, how it is, mercurial, lazy, mentally not tough enough, mentally not strong enough, mentally not focused enough to take care of Afghanistan and treat them as a mediocre side.
Mustafa, what's the South Africa takeaway from this game?
The South Africa takeaway, I think it's a good mental health for them. Like, oh, we won a close game that could have been a knockout for them as well. Because if they lost this, there's a high probability. I still think it's a high probability they lose to New Zealand, because I think New Zealand is just
Yeah, but then those two teams will go through.
They need to realize that their spin bowling is absolute garbage. You just play Corbin Bosch or the extra seamer. Forget about spin, man.
yeah.
Keshav Maharaj, George Linda are not it. Aiden Markram is not it. Just stack the fast bowling all rounders, bat till number 9 or number 8, and just be mentally prepared for 180 plus chases and pressure matches.
Yeah, it's just pressure matches, 180 chases for South Africa.
To be
Like,
fair, look at the way they won against us in 2023. Look at the way they won some matches in 2024. They're getting there eventually. I think they will get over the
I
hump.
mean,
God knows when, but
they did finally win a final. They did finally win a
yeah,
Although
final.
that
exactly.
that 2023 game came down to a umpire's call on an LBW
But to be fair,
for
look, their
Haris
tail
Rauf.
wagged and they got over
They
the
did,
line, right?
yes.
Yeah,
It's true.
but I just think we really should. I think it's just of great mental health to them to like, oh, okay, we got like what, like we could have had a blunder right now, but we saved ourselves and we can move, we can take something from this, that we dug deep and won it.
So tomorrow you have three pretty boring games on paper. Sri Lanka,
Hmm.
Oman, the Italians play Nepal, and then India, Namibia, which is not an interesting game in that sense. To me, it's more interesting as far as what team India come out with. Bumrah didn't
Yeah,
play the first
Abhishek might
game.
miss that game.
Abhishek
Correct.
is
Abhishek and Tilak Verma were under the weather with some sort of stomach bug. So it'll be interesting to see because this is basically their warm-up game before the Sunday match. So it'll be interesting to see the combination. What are your thoughts on how they'll go? Do you think they try and run those three out, or do you think they play the backups and feel, we don't need to give
I think they
more
have
than one
enough
out?
depth in the batting to be fine without Abhishek and Tilak. But the thing is, do they want Jasprit Bumrah going in cold, so to speak, in Colombo against Pakistan, even though he has a fantastic record against us and he won't be phased by the occasion or not being, in the run of things. But certainly some interesting decisions that Gautam Gambhir and the rest of the crew need to make for that encounter versus Namibia.
Mustafa, how would you approach it if you were Team India?
If I was team, I get the idea of match practice for Bumrah, but like I just think like it's Bumrah, like he's just that good. Like he's all like literally just
I'm
needs like
honestly surprised. Why is he still playing T20 as? What have you got to prove?
like
That's what I
he
hate about with these players. They don't quit when they win. Just quit, man. क्या रह गया अब? छोड़
no,
दो.
no, I really want him to just play test because I really think he can get like 300-400 wickets easy.
He can't last a series, man. What's he gonna do?
Yeah, that's true. Like it's just like I just think he's just like he's like it's very annoying to me that he is such a great bowler. Like they got one bowler that I can honestly say is an all-timer fast bowler in their thing, and like he's genuinely probably in like limited overs he's probably the best bowler in the world right now, and has been for the last couple of years, right?
Probably, I think if you combine the formats, that's not wrong.
Yeah, so like
Yeah.
it's between if you do those just like 50 overs and 20 overs cricket, then like it's him, and I just think like if you rest him for another game, it's not gonna do him any harm. He's still Bumrah. He'll still come out. Coming swinging with his double elbow action that bends like this, like somehow, and like and
Plus, there's an aura about him that
yeah.
he could just walk off the team bus, start his run up, and the batter on the other side sort of knows this is Bumrah. I just have to be a little bit more careful. And when in a T20 format, when balls are limited, even one or two dot balls per over against him is one or two opportunities where you can't score. Any last thoughts from today's action?
I was just seriously disappointed with the way KG Rabada bowled. This was literally your home ground, dude. You played 3 seasons of IPL, or last year, I think he was with Gujarat Titans. How are you going to be bowling so badly and getting whacked for six by Noor Ahmed, man? Come on. He needs to lift his game if South Africa are to go deep in this tournament. He was very, very shocking today.
I'm sorry to say, but I just don't think Rabada has been kind of finished as a limited overs bowler for a while. Like he hasn't been bowling well in limited overs
ये
for a while.
कहाँ से आई है ये hot take? How are you? On what evidence are you surmising
No,
this?
I am just saying from my general like when I watch him, okay, I am not going by stats. This is just by feeling. Okay,
Okay, vibe is meaningless.
vibes
Vibe
is
is
not.
we're winning in every Ramzan. We're winning an ICC tournament. क्या rubbish बात की है यार?
No, I just think he is a level down from when like he was a couple of years from what he was a couple of years ago. That's my opinion.
I don't think we all follow his career that closely enough to surmise that he's done. But yeah, maybe just a bad day. Let's see what happens. Do Afghanistan have absolutely no chance? They have a chance,
Yeah,
right?
No,
only
Maybe
they have
squeeze,
to win,
squeeze
and then they
here.
have to hope for some upset and stuff like that. But it doesn't look good for them.
yeah,
They
no,
would probably want South Africa to lose from here, right?
yeah,
Yes.
Because
heavily,
the Kiwis beat.
heavily,
Yeah.
Yeah,
heavily.
because the net run rate for New Zealand is phenomenal. So you're not going to overtake them on net run rate. Your
New
hope is
Zealand have
that
been OP, man. Crazy.
I've been telling you
That's
this.
all going to end in tears.
in our review, we said this was a group of death, that these one or two
Yeah.
games would make a difference. So thank you, gentlemen. We'll do it again tomorrow. This is over and out. Signing off for today.
I know.